Hello, Fall 2023 Stress Recognition and Management. I'm Dr. Wagner, your friendly neighborhood instructor. I designed this class a while ago. I've been teaching it for quite some time now. It ends up being one of my favorites because it's one of our practical application classes. So it's only worth 2 credits and it allows you to actually work on yourself. Who among us couldn't do better at recognizing our stress, avoiding it and preventing it if possible, and then also managing the stresses that we cannot prevent from happening, right? Though I wish I could prevent more of my stress from happening. You'll notice Module 1 is going to just be introductory and get you started. After that, each module has a 2-week format with the idea that you'll spend the first week going through the materials and sort of contemplating where you're at with that dimension of health. There's really more like 11 dimensions of health, but you'll notice that I combined occupational and financial, which I think is appropriate for most of y'all. And there are some others that you'll see will pop up as we're going through the modules, but these are the basics that most folks agree on. And so that first week is more of reflective practice. So you'll think about, like the next module, the physical dimension, where are you physically with how you're engaging with your stress. And then the second week is more for that practical application. So you'll notice that each module is essentially going to have a planner and a journal assignment, and then a content-related assignment. So planners, you'll notice that I've encouraged you, and if electronic is fine too, but I have encouraged you to seek a paper planner that has both months and weeks, and then at some point I'll also ask you to break it down into day, a certain day, what are you going to do, how you're going to manage your time. One of the things I've noticed throughout I'm starting my 27th year teaching here at Kent State, is that we haven't done a great job with American students teaching y'all how to learn, how to study, how to organize your time with regard to academics, right? So with some of my students, I'll say, well, how do you put this on your calendar? And they'll say, well, it's due September 15th. So I put due September 15th. It's like, okay, so then when are you going to work on that assignment? And they're like, oh, well, before September 15th. It's like, well, if you don't have time carved out, then where does that time exactly come from? So that would just be one example of a time management issue that tends to cause a lot of stress for us. Not just y'all, everyone, right? As well as some task assessment. And so we'll go through that as well. One of the most enriching parts of this course for me, as I said, is how you do your own personal practice. So there's why, again, you're going to have a journal assignment. You'll notice the requirement is for you to regularly journal wherever it is. But you don't have to share the intimate details of your journal with me. You will notice that there are simply some questions that you answer. So you're not providing your journal, right? So notice number 1, start writing in it. You should have 6 entries. But then after 6 days, I'm asking you, how did it go? Do you enjoy it? Did you already do this? What don't you like about it? So on and so forth, right? So share with me whatever you find to be helpful. There's not part of me that's going to come at you and say, well, why aren't you talking about this thing? It really is just me looking to see if you're thoughtfully reflecting on the content as well as the practice that we're looking for in that module. And then, as I said, then there will also be some assignment. So in the first one, it's just basically anonymous because I take your names off of them, stress inventory, and then you'll replicate that later in the semester and sort of see where you are, what you've learned, how you've grown. And then the final project really is just to help yourself figure out moving forward how you might handle your stress given what you may have learned in my course. So always reach out if you have a problem or a question with an assignment. I know there's at least one that triggers folks sometimes, so please don't allow yourself to be quietly triggered and not communicate with me that this is a problem, because I'm here to reflect and respond, and like I said, I already know generally where the rough parts are. I have not been teaching this course for 26 years, but I have been teaching the human sexuality course for that long. And so I know exactly what days are going to be rough for students, what kinds of things I'm going to say that might get people a little bit more agitated or more interested in pushing back and really communicating with me. So in any case, the course is not designed to have you be agitated, though. So you got to just let me know if something's going on or going wrong, or something needs fixed or adjusted, or if you need accommodated. You'll notice our state law changed last spring and allows for the religious practice days off. We're in an online class, so it doesn't normally affect us as much, but I have the form there too, so if you have specific religious practices this fall that might interfere with due dates, let me know. Like I said, I think it's more for an in-person experience, but I'm not denying you the opportunity to request those days, and so that's what that's for. And if you don't know what that's about, or you don't have any religious practice days, don't worry about it. You'll notice it's a assignment with no points, and that's something that Canvas, I love Canvas better than Blackboard in my opinion. Our version of Blackboard was, I think, the cheap one. But Canvas isn't perfect. So in the grades, for example, even though I ask it to do points, it'll still tell you like, oh, you only got this percentage, or you're earning this percentage, which is also, often also based on whether or not I've graded those things yet. So I ask you to ignore it, though some of you will not be able to. And your score for your course is going to be determined based on how you earn your way towards those points. So I will say that given everything I learned during COVID, I have continued to embrace the due dates as friendly suggestions. So I'm also not that concerned. If you're having an issue, if you get sick, if you're traveling or whatever, and you need a little bit extra time, I encourage you to just go ahead and take it. Canvas is going to, say, hey, this is late, or hey, you haven't done this. But that's just so we're not waiting all semester to get things done. I believe last time I looked, there were 105 of you in here this semester. I've not had a section quite that big, but sadly we lost 2 faculty members last year. One died of heart disease, and then one left us for a bigger and brighter job elsewhere. So I had to condense the sections into one. So I might have a TA in here sometimes helping me with the grading, but I'm hoping I can manage it myself. You are one of my 4 classes that I'm teaching this semester, so I'm going to do the best to stay on top of that. And you'll note that I kind of sometimes wait until everybody's turned in the module, and so usually a week after the module's due is when it will get graded, even if you've turned it in early. All right, personal stress profile. There are 5 graduate students in here, and you know who you are. Everybody accesses the course, as you've seen, through the 40,000 level course. And so that will keep us all on the same page and allow us to engage in our community, again, working together to help figure out how to reduce and manage our stress. All right, so I think that's all I have for you this morning. I just wanted to say, hey, pardon me, so I could release the module for you, so those of you that are excited to get going can get going. And like I said, you will notice that first one only gives you the first week, pardon me, and then the rest of them are each going to give you 2 weeks to do that. All right, so I hope you're as ready as I am for a new semester. I need a fresh new year more than I think I ever have. So here's hoping AY 23-24 is bigger and brighter and less stressful for all of us. All right, that's all for now. You'll hear from me probably more than you care to. Have a great first week. Keep taking care of yourself. And as I said, if there's literally anything I can do to help, please at least give me the opportunity. All right, have a great Monday. I'll talk to you again soon.